stream. Let's see what's happening. Oh, that looks good. Excellent connection. Oh, is that true? Is it continuing? Is that? Oh, hello there. So nice of you to join me. I'm jjstylesrocks. You might know that already, or you might not. I'm glad that you could join me this evening. Let me just go ahead and check my OBS software. It looks like my audio level is at a pretty decent level. I could stand to turn it up a notch though. Hello? Hello? Hi. Yeah, that's pretty good. Basically, I'm a little bit exhausted because I did like a 2-hour live stream already. I'm gonna try and recharge my good attitude because it's pretty negative. I'm not gonna what negative. Okay, I can't lie to you. If anybody saw part 1 of this little podcast, I did it again! Ah! I keep calling the live stream a podcast. I can't help it. It's like every time I do something like this, I get in front of a computer with a microphone or whatever, you know, it feels exactly like a podcast or whatever. So I call it a podcast, but this is a live stream. I'm live right now. So, whatever, bear with me. Yeah, little glitches and mistakes like that will help improve my attitude. I'm sure, as I was saying, little exhausted from that previous, dare I say it, podcast? No, it's good. From that previous live stream. I gotta admit, that was a fucking excellent live stream, guys. I did like 2 hours without dropping a note. Like, it felt like a really good live stream. I accomplished everything that I set out to do. I mean, you know, there were a few things that I did that I regretted, but I tried to look at it in hindsight and retrospect and say, hey, that's what gives my stuff flavor. You know, it's okay. For example, I'm trying to keep this a purely musical episode. You know, I was anyways. I was trying to make avoid all random BS that I'm so good at, and just like focus on musical things that I've been keeping up on or whatever. So I was talking about the Sonic Warrior book, audio book more specifically, that I acquired from Audible for free. I got the book, the audiobook, and the account for free because, well, that's what that's what they do. They give you a free month, and then, you know, if you don't cancel, they just keep charging you until the day you die. Right now, I should probably cancel it at this moment as I think about it, because that's the only audiobook that I've checked out is Sonic Warrior, and I was finished with it like a week ago or something. So, yeah, I really need to cancel before you charge me. But I probably won't. I don't know. I never claimed to be, you know, smart. I just I like music. I like you know, the internet and computers and stuff. You know, the nice thing about music and computers for me is I know how to write music and I know how to write computers. Wait, write computers? That doesn't make sense. Oh yeah, write code, write stuff. And yeah, write music. What? Write lyrics? Write sheet music? Tablature? What? What? Well, what do you got? It's fun to have an intimate knowledge of things. That's what I say. It's fun. Of course, it's kind of a lie. I remember when I first got really good at music, like understood scales, theories, notes, beats, times, signatures, all that stuff. And then I started trying to just listen to music like a regular fan, you know, just like a regular music listener. And I'm just like hung up on the stupidest shit. You know, like I'm sitting there thinking, oh, this chord progression is so basic. You know, or like I'm thinking, oh, this drum beat is so repetitive. You know, like that's really irrelevant to a music listener, I would think, because I learned how to be a music listener all over again. It's like going 360 full circle, what have you. And it feels good. Feels good to be back at square one. I can actually listen to anything, and I'll either like it or I won't. And I won't have to sit there and analyze the fuck out of it like some kind of historian or some kind of analytical scientist or like some kind of a journalist trying to write a report for a paper. No, I like music. That's like what I do. And that's what I kind of wanted to talk about in the podcast. I already got to talk about the Biggie Smalls potato chips. It's pretty cool. Pretty good chips. You know. And I am familiar with Biggie. How could I not be? It's like, come on, man. But I am also familiar with, oh yeah, I was already talking about it. Audible. Yeah. They gave me the free book and the free account, which is pretty cool. I was going to buy the book like back in September because I think I said in the lost broadcast of this live stream, I said something like I've probably heard Lou Brutus say at least 100 times, buy my book, Sonic Warrior, A Tale of Sex, Drugs, and Vomiting at Inopportune Times. I've heard him say that so many times. I, don't think I could get that title wrong. I don't think I could fuck it up. I'm kind of a dyslexic special ed short bus rider, if you will. And I'm serious. I'm not being politically incorrect. But, the freaking... I think it's literally Sonic Warrior. I'm kind of... Wait a minute. What does it say? It says... It's a, sex, drugs, rock and roll, and vomiting at inopportune times. But what is the word? Is it a tale of sex? No, it's not a tale. It's like Sonic Warrior, a biography. Sonic Warrior, well, it's something or other. It's Sonic Warrior, retelling of something? No. Well, whatever it is, I'm sure you can find it on Google just by typing Sonic fucking Warrior or whatever. And basically each chapter is like a story, you know? Like a personal, real-life story that happened to our close personal friend Lou Brutus. And they are stories about rock and roll specifically. Um, and they're pretty good. I'm trying not to add too much personal baggage into this live stream because I did a pretty good job of that. I'm just gonna say that my two favorite chapters are the Anti-Nowhere League's "So What" song getting played by Metallica live at the Northern Polar Cap or what have you. They basically went to the North Pole to play "So What." That's pretty cool. That's the way I see it, anyways. They went to the North Pole to play a publicity concert from Molson Beer, I think it was. But when I think about it, I think they went to the North Pole just to play "So What." Wow, that's cool. But and the way Lou reacted to "So What," I think that was the first time he heard an Anti-Nowhere League song, and he reacted like appropriately, and well, he should, because that song "So What," that has the Anti-Nowhere League written all over it. That is par for the course. That is de facto default. That is the standard. That is like, that's an Anti-Nowhere League song right there, guys. You know, I think if you listen to the Anti-Nowhere League theme song, you know, the one where it goes, you know, "We are the league, the Anti-Nowhere League. Yeah, we are the league, and our music's bad." Wait a minute, let me see. Oh, we are the league. Fucked up noise like you've never known. Well, it's basically their theme song, guys. It sets the story. It sets it's kind of like it sets the rules, like by which the band abides by. You know, they're basically trying to like offend people and kind of piss them off, but you can tell that they're still trying to be funny at the same time about it. Like, I mean, they don't really say it, but what comedian, what funny person ever openly says, "I'm funny"? Like, that's kind of stupid. That isn't what people do. So, but yeah, they're clever. They're just really good at being punk rock, basically. You know, punk rocks are supposed to be these snotty, clever, asshole kind of fucking people that point out how stupid and fucked up all you stupid fucking fucks are, but at the same time is capable of pointing out how stupid and fucked up they are, being a little self-deprecating at the same time, if you will. Just basically, you know, helping the world become a better place by understanding the stupid, fucked up shit that they do and making light of it, you know, because who really wants to get berated and told, you know, who wants to get nagged and freaking told how stupid they are? Yeah. No, nobody wants that. But if it can be humorous at the same time and like kind of like enlightening, I don't know. It's a good experience, and I think Lou Brutus gets it. Obviously, Metallica gets it. I'm not sure, but I kind of think it's probably Hetfield that's like the real punk, the real wannabe of the group, you know? Oh, God. I'm gonna start putting my personal interjection. I said I wasn't gonna do this, so I'm gonna avoid it. But yeah, and the other chapter that's pretty good, it's punk rock as well. It's the Dead Schembechlers episode. The Dead Schembechlers. I'm tired, guys. That was like a long uh, live stream that I did. So, and I'm trying to redo it and still keep it fresh for myself because I'm not getting paid. I'm not getting pussy. I'm not getting drugs. I'm not getting free video games. I'm not getting anything out of this except I'm trying to endorse the stuff that's cool. That like there's fucking music shit going on in this world, and I swear, man, it seems like it's getting overlooked. Like, how come I don't hear the Bluestones on the radio anymore? Like, doesn't anybody give a shit about Shaking Off the Rust anymore? Or did it just, like, go away? Because I still hear Metallica, I still hear, Theory of a Dead Man, Lola, I still hear fucking Bad Wolves. Oh, God. I don't know if I can do a live stream without a bunch of personal interjection and opinions. Now that I'm having a difficult time. I have a theory about the Bad Wolves. You know, it's like, yeah, I can't do it, guys. I gotta give you my personal take on things. I'm really not that familiar with the band. I guess, what was it, at the beginning of 2020 when they started playing Sober on the radio? You're getting sober, and I'm so fucking sober. And listening to this song makes fucking wasted people feel sober, because it fucking sucks. And it's like, I bared with it. Because I realize that there's people out there in this world that suck at partying. Like, the people that get too drunk and barf on everything. And I'm not talking about Lou Brutus, even though his book is called Puking at Inopportune Times, or whatever. You know, it's just like, there's those people that get too drunk and puke on everything, or get too drunk and turn into fucking angry drunks, turn into assholes. Or maybe they get too drunk and they just get careless and stupid, you know, or whatever. You know, and then there's those people that never get too drunk, but like somehow they manage to always have a drink in their hand. Those people know how to drink really slowly, and it's a good trait. You don't have to drink like glug 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 glug. If you learn how to drink slowly, it'll probably get you through life a lot better. Like, you might not ever have to go to rehab. And listen to Sober, I'm waiting for you to get sober. And it's like, yeah. But at the same time, I can't hate the Bad Wolves because their name is honest. They are bad at being wolves. You know, rock and roll people, they are kind of like wolves. You know, they're kind of predatory. You know, they're kind of carnivorous. They're kind of quick and sleek and powerful, and they're also kind of tribal. You know, those wolves, they got families, they got cubs, and they take care of their little fucking wolves, and then they go and hunt in packs, and you know, I swear to God, I don't want to get started. The bands that I play, the rock and roll bands that I play in for the past 10 years, there's only a couple of them that actually know how to maintain that pack mentality. You know, like, I hate to say it, but being in a rock and roll band is supposed to feel like you're in a gang, like a gang of 4 or 3, or if you're the royal blood guys, like 2, whatever. It's supposed to feel like you're in the Warriors and you got each other's backs and you fuck everybody else, but not necessarily fuck them. I mean, if you have an alliance with another gang, obviously, you know, they're cool, but my point is these bad wolves guys. They're not good at being wolves. Oh well. Hey, it's cool, man. But why do I hear them on the radio more than the Bluestones? Like, what the fuck? I don't want to hear Sober 5 times a day and Shaking Off the Rust no times. Like, and I could bug the DJ about it, but you know, I shouldn't talk to DJs. Like, I shouldn't talk to anybody, really. Not like personally. I get pretty weird, man. I think I got like some kind of like, I read into things. Like, that's the thing. DJs, they have to talk. It's their job. So it's like, if I'm sending them emails, and obviously you're not going to get a reply from a DJ. Not usually, anyways. But, you know, if they're talking on the air, and I can't help but just, like, read into, like, if it, like, you know, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And then I got a reply, of course, because why wouldn't I reply? But yeah, the Dead Schembechlers are supposed to be an homage to the Dead Kennedys, because like the whole concept is to be like punk rock, and the Kennedys made an impression on Lou. You know, they basically the Kennedys usually do. You know, if you're like playing the Dead Kennedys for a person that's never heard the Sex Pistols or the Ramones, or never even heard Offspring or Green Day, if you got a punk rock virgin and you turn them on to Dead Kennedys first and foremost, they're probably gonna be alright, they're probably gonna be a little more punk than your average punk. Let's just say it like that. God damn it! I really didn't want to say that, but I couldn't think of another way. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. But like, the Kennedys are pretty fucking hardcore. Like they're just like like they're fast, they're driving and angry and but like snotty and like fucking I don't know, man. But it's funny. And of course everybody in the Dead Schembechlers gets a punk rock name. You know, like Bo Vicious, Bo Biafra, Bo this and that. You know, the whole sport theme, the sporting, like, this is supposed to be a rivalry between, like, Ohio State. I think it's Ohio State. Isn't that the way it's, I mean, it's not called the University of Ohio, I don't think. It's called Ohio. And, like, the University of Michigan? And, like, it's a really, it's a big old fucking rivalry, guys. It's a honest to God sporting rivalry. Like, I don't know. Like the Cowboys and the Buffalo Bills. Or like, what, the Redskins and Washington Redskins and the Philadelphia Eagles? Or like, I don't know, I probably only got like football analogies. But, well, and that makes sense because this is the Schembechler, this is a football thing. So, but I gotta tell you, the whole vibe when I'm listening to the audiobook, it kind of reminds me of like No Means No when they made the Hanson brothers in homage to the Slapshot movies. Like, I really have to wonder if that was in Lou's mind at all. If he's, I mean, if he's familiar with the Kennedys, knowing him, he probably looked at the Alternative Tentacles catalog, and he might have seen the Hanson brothers, and he just might have, you know, uh, picked up on the theme and the idea. It's like pretty ingenious, really. It's like, all right, we're gonna copy the I don't they're not the Dudley brothers. They kind of remind me of the Dudleys though in ECW. What the fuck are they called? Oh, they're the Hanson brothers. Duh, duh. Sorry guys, I haven't seen the Slapshot movies in probably like a decade or something. Um, but yeah, the Hanson brothers, they're pretty cartoon-like, and I got to admit, the Ramones are pretty cartoon-like. I mean, it wasn't that shocking to see. What's that album? The End of the Century, I think. No, that's the one where they're in the photograph. Road to Ruin. I think that's the one where they're all drawn like cartoon characters. And like for the first time, anyways. There's plenty of times like the Ramones live album. They were drawn like cartoons, etc., etc., etc. They're pretty cartoon, and the Hanson brothers are trying to sound like the Ramones. This is exactly what I was trying to avoid, guys. I just wanted to talk about Sonic Warrior and just tell you it's a pretty good book. And I mean, like, it was nice to get it for free. I wanted to buy it in September, and I was kicking myself because Lou said it would only be $1. But hey, free is free. I just really need to cancel that account before I get a, what is it? I think they want to charge me $15.95 or some shit like that. Yeah, but yeah. I'm not gonna say anything more. I don't want to spoil Bishembek. You gotta check it out, guys. Those two chapters are so punk rock. Like the anti, like okay, the Metallica chapter. It's like it's Metallica. It is what it is. But just like having to go to the North Pole the way they do it, that shit's fucking punk rock. I remember the first time I played a gig in Truckee. Like it's like this little snowboard ski town, like like by Nevada and California. You gotta go up into the mountains. It's all snowy. You gotta put chains on your tires, or you go sliding down the freaking mountain. Like I know what it's like to have to travel to go to a show or play a show. And man, to go all the way to the edge of Greenland, I think I want to say Canada, but I think they had to. That's not far enough. They had to go to like the edge of Greenland, the farthest, furthest point. They literally couldn't have been any closer to the North Pole. That was like the whole point of the exercise. Was you know, no, it must have been Canada because it was sponsored by a Canadian beer company. So, whatever, guys. It's pretty good stuff. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff I'm leaving out. Um, I'll, I'll try. Let me run through it. Okay, I did this in the previous live stream. Okay, there's an episode. I'm going to keep calling these chapters episodes, just like I'm just going to keep calling this podcast, this live stream podcast. So I did a lot of television, public access television. I can't help myself. Everything is a television episode, and yeah, whatever. And I've been on a podcast before, or at least hung out with some podcasters. So yeah, he hangs out with Gene Simmons from Kiss. It's cool. They literally hang out like buds. He him and an ex-girlfriend get to hang out with Stevie Nicks, and it gets awkward. It's kind of funny. Him and his wife get to meet Robert Plant, and he gets kind of pissed. It's kind of funny. And not only that, he gets to uh, talk personally about Live Aid and his experience with it, which is very enlightening. I mean, Live Aid is one of the most magical things to ever happen. So, like, hearing any personal accounts of it is like a privilege. Um, what else? Oh yeah, he talks candidly about an authentic Pantera party. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's right. I kid you not, guys. I don't know what you know about Pantera. I already knew a good thing or two. I mean, like, I don't want to give anything away, so I'm just gonna say everything that I thought was true and everything, every little, you know, you hear rumors, but it's like, you think, how the fuck do you know? Were you there? It's like, and of course they were, or whatever. Eh. But that's the nice thing about Lou Brutus is this guy isn't gonna lie about anything because somebody's gonna call him out on it. He knows everybody in the goddamn industry, like, and he's known them all for a very long time, so he can't get away with lying. Somebody will like post on Twitter and say, "Hey, Lou, you're a fucking lying bitch." So no, it ain't gonna happen. But he does openly admit that like he went to like what was it? He said he went to a gig and he was like in '89 he saw. I don't know. There's only one chapter where he says that he was like really drunk and can't remember the show very well, but it was really good. Um, oh, it was Nirvana. Yeah, he said that he saw Nirvana in 1989, and that he, you know, remembers it that they were, real good or whatever, like heavy, but he was so busy trying to hit on the barmaid unsuccessfully. He was trying to bed her, and he did not. But he was really drunk, and that's what he wanted to do. So he missed out on the show. But from what I remember, they were pretty fucking good. And you know, aside from that, he's a pretty sober dude. Aside from the time that he hung out with Snoop Doggy Dogg, which he talks about in detail. Oh, what else? Um, Yeah, come on, Jay. What else? I've already mentioned more than I mentioned in the Lost live stream. Let's continue. This is good. This is good. He met Airborne from Australia, and the tour funk was so overwhelming it made him like puke in his mouth and fall and chip a tooth. And he basically says this isn't Airborne. This is every band essentially, you know. And I can relate. I've been on a tour, a baby band. He call it like the tours that I've been on. That's what he calls baby bands. So me, I call it seeing the world. But I guess I was in a baby band. But what can I say? It's like I've had a long day. I have. I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, but I can smell my goddamn feet right now. Like, I fucking can. And, like, I have odor eaters, but these are the stupid charcoal ones. You gotta stick with the pink ones. The old school, those are the really good odor. These charcoal ones are bullshit. I can still, it smells like fucking feet. I've had a long day, guys. I should have changed my socks. And that's candid, private, privileged information, but I'm not embarrassed to say it, because god damn it, I'm a man, and I play rock and roll music, and it fucking happens sometimes, you know? You gotta practice really good hygiene to avoid smelling like a garbage dump or a public, uh, you just gotta, what's some good tricks? Like changing your socks 3 times a day? That's a pretty good trick. Or if you just wear some really thick old school odor ears, the freaking, you know why those old ones? Okay, the ones, these charcoal ones, you know, whatever. The ones that have like the pink shit on the bottom, they're like patented. Okay, they're antimicrobial. Somehow these people, these scientists, these capitalists, these titans of industry, they figured out how to make an antimicrobial padding, like not too expensive. It's easy to make. It's like one of the best inventions ever made, really. I mean, antimicrobial. What? How many products are antimicrobial? Why don't you fucking tell me, huh? That's one, and it's just antimicrobial by nature. So you know, these charcoal things, I don't know. If somebody tries to tell me they're antimicrobial at this point, I'm gonna say let's take it to MythBusters. You got Adam Savage's phone number? Because I don't believe it. They're not as good. So, anyways, Airborne taught Lou the real meaning of tour funk, but he doesn't say the word funk. He says feet, feet. He probably says feet like 50 times over. You know, but he's just trying to emphasize how strong it was. You know? I mean, I'll move on. I just, I mean, like, his bus ran over, almost killed somebody, but they were suicidal, and it was like, it was weird. I don't know. I didn't know what to take away from that chapter. It was kind of like, it was just really random. I guess that's what you can take away from it is sometimes random shit happens. It doesn't all have to feel like fate. Because his stories are pretty good, man. It's practically like something out of a movie, you know? And it's safe to say when you're living a normal life, but it feels like something out of a movie, it's got to be like goddamn fate or a higher power or something, right? Because whose life is that great that it's gonna feel like something out of a movie, so, or a book for that matter. I guess I'm done. So yeah, check it out if you can. I basically digested the whole thing in, I think it's like 6 hours, but it took me like about 3 days. I think I listened like 2 hours a day or something. But I haven't quite finished up the last chapter, which is something like 40 minutes, I think. And it's more like an appendix than a chapter. It's like an alphabetical list of every band, every concert that Lou has seen, and it is long. I made it to the C bands when I finally said I gotta take a break, and I haven't been motivated enough to continue. from that point. So maybe I will, maybe I won't. You know, it's kind of a strange listen. You know, it's like, I, part of me is excited to hear, good bands. You know, like, oh, he got to see them. Fuck yeah, yeah. I'll bet he dug them too. Yeah, it's like, cause well, when you listen to the book, you get to know him, you get to know his tastes and whatnot. But at other times, you hear a name and you're like, oh, whoa, that's random. Well, he's probably there because he's a DJ, and the station managers, I think, are the guys that say, all right, we need you to go on location and do a broadcast, whatever. So whatever, you know. And then at other times, you just want to fucking stab him in the eyes, or other times you just want to stab Lou in the ears because you're like, motherfucker. Oh, you've seen that band? I've been wanting to see that band my whole life. And, like, haven't had an opportunity because I live in Tucson and these motherfuckers are too big time or something. So, you know, and when I get too green with envy, then I say, well, you know what? It's my own damn fault for not taking a bus to Los Angeles or Las Vegas or Phoenix or whatever, because I should have tried harder to see such and such. But it's just it's listening to the chapters listening to the stories. It's not very taxing. Listening to that list of bands, I got to the C's and I felt quite taxed at that point. I'd been through many different feelings and emotions, like some of them that I didn't want to have. So, what can I say? Lou Brutus is a lucky man. He gets to listen to music, like, and fucking play it, and that is gonna take me to the next part of this live stream. And I know better than to just continue and go straight into it. I'm gonna stop and review this and make sure it actually works. So, I'm JJ Styles, the Bright Idea Records. Hey, be right back for part 3.